Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Oh, excuse me. There you go. The bathroom edition. Alright, so you can always tell when someone's talking to you from the bathroom, huh? Anyway, my lovely trophy wife has been on me to fix this bathroom for quite a while. So let me show you what we're dealing with here. Back in here. So we've got this shower, sink, vanity, and right inside of there we're getting some water leakage or something that's getting pretty gross. So I need to pull this whole vanity and sink out and find out what's going on in there. Maybe seal up this little brick half wall for the shower. And I don't know what else I'm going to do. I might try to make something to fill this area in, or maybe even fill this whole area in so that we just can't even see it. That might be the way to go. So the first thing I got to do is get all this stuff off of here. Now you can tell that a lady works in this or utilizes this bathroom because there's crap everywhere. And what do they complain about? They complain about if we leave the seat up. So we've all got our struggles, ladies and gentlemen, but it's okay. We can coexist. I'm gonna get a laundry basket and get all this stuff off of here, and we'll start getting this vanity out, see if we can figure it out. Because as usual, I have no idea what I'm doing. We got everything cleared out of this cabinet. Always have a bowl of some sort to put underneath there, a tray, something like that. I made bread this morning, so there's my bread bowl. I've closed these valves. Now these are the old style valves. You got to turn them, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 times to close them. The newer valves are quarter turn valves, and they're much nicer. This one you can see, or maybe you can hear it, it's leaking a little bit. And that's mainly because you rarely ever go underneath here to close these things, so they get buildup of minerals and stuff from the water, so they end up failing. I've had several times where I went to work on something like this, close the valve, and it just wouldn't seal off. So what you want to do is close your valves and then come up here and open your sink, or open your faucet. Make sure these are closed, otherwise you'll get a face full of water when you crack open these lines. This is a really nice small vanity, so there's not much room in here to work, but we'll get it. All right. A little bit of residual in that one. I need a cameraman. Where's my cameraman? I need a much bigger budget on this film. It's definitely not easy to do with one hand. No one ever told me this YouTube stuff was going to be so difficult. And then you want to take off your sink trap, P-trap, whatever you want to call it. Now these things can stink. So just a heads up, if you've never done this before, water sits in the bottom of there, all the gunk you run down this sink, your wife's luscious, luxurious long hairs, they'll all sit in the bottom of this, and it's going to probably be pretty gross. So we'll just set that in there and try not to breathe in the fumes too much. All right, so all that's disconnected. This is attached to this sink. So now I have to see how this sink is attached to this vanity. It looks like this vanity has just got maybe one screw holding it. One, maybe two. That one right there might be going into the wall as well. And I think if we look up in here, let's see if we can see. Let's work together. I think that screw, and there's another one over here, I think is all that's holding that sink to this back wall. So I'm going to see what I can do to get up in there. I don't think I'll be able to take you all with me. So let me do some exploratory surgery. All right, I know this might be kind of a confusing view, but you're looking straight up from the bottom of this vanity up to the top. And there's the screw. There's two of those that have to come out. You like the hollow sound? It's because I'm in here with y'all. You can see the amount of room I've got to try to turn this screwdriver. So hopefully that just gives you an idea of the challenge it's going to be to get these screws out. Yeah, got them both out. Now I see two screws holding this vanity on. Let's see if we get those out. Hopefully I'm not blocking your view there too much. There's one. There's two. This valve that I mentioned was being a pain is still leaking. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this back up and I'm going to cycle it open and closed a couple times to try to make sure it stops leaking, because this may be a multi-day job, so I don't want to have that thing leaking the whole time. No joy at all. I cycled it 2 times, it's still leaking, maybe even worse than before, but let's see what we got here. Here we go. Vanity is out. We'll move that for now. See that? Pretty gross. Alright, I'm going to remove this whole thing out of here and we'll take a look at what we got back here. Pretty interesting how they mounted this sink here. With those anchors. I guess it'll work. And then the vanity, I think, only went in. That one felt like it was in something, and this corner one didn't really felt like it was just into drywall. You can see this thing is still leaking. I might have a cap. I'll look, or else I'll either do that or I'll just replace this entire valve with a 1/4 turn if I have one, or I'll just run and get one. All right. So now you can see how gross this corner is over here. And looks like we got some drywall damage there. And it looks like it's because there's really nothing sealing this up. So I guess a little bit of water when we use the shower gets out of here, especially down low. So I'm going to get all this cleaned up one way or another and clean all this gross stuff up. And then I'm just going to put a nice layer of caulking in there, let that dry, and then I'll move everything back in. But I got to clean all this up, and obviously got to do something about this leak. I'm just scraping some of this gunk off of here. I've already scraped this down a little bit here. It really doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage. And probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to move a fan in here. I'm going to let it dry. And then I'm going to probably put a skim coat of like drywall compound over it, sand it down, prime it, and then seal this up. As hopefully you can see this here. Let me take a look here. See how far in that thing goes. So we're definitely probably getting some water down. It's seeping down all the way down here. So I'm going to, once it's all dried up and fixed, I'm going to put probably some silicone caulking all the way up, as high as I can go. But we gotta get this cleaned up and then get it dry. Because if we don't let it dry, the moisture underneath there is just gonna cause more problems. I get it pretty well cleaned up in here. So I'm gonna put the fan in here, let it dry. I'm gonna run to my favorite big box store and pick up some silicone sealant if I don't have some, and I'm definitely gonna replace both of these because I just don't want to deal with these old shutoff valves because they are definitely known to fail, and the quarter turn ones are way more reliable, so much easier to deal with. So pick up 2 quarter turn shutoff valves, some silicone sealant, and I'll make sure I also have some drywall compound. I made a run to the hardware store to get these quarter turn valves, and they are exactly, exactly what they say they are. You turn them 90 degrees. Here, let me see if I can set this up. Here, I'm holding it. Turn them 90 degrees, a quarter of a turn to shut them off. Yeah. There we go. Quarter turn, off, on, off, on. Instead of the 3 or 4 turns the other ones do. This just has a regular ball valve inside. It's much easier. These things, I don't ever see them fail. Yeah, maybe you can even see there. Let's see if we can see inside of there. Maybe you can't see it. But anyway, we're going to change these out. So anytime you need to disconnect something on your plumbing system on your house, you got to shut off the water supply to the house. Mine is very easy. It's right here, right there. That's a quarter turn, see? So now that's shut off. What you got to do now is relieve pressure on the system. So I'm going to open up my garage sink first. Something always runs out a little bit dirty. I think this cold water valve has like a steel insert in it or something. All right, so that should have relieved the majority of the pressure. So let's go in the bathroom and we'll open up the shower in there to get the pressure off, and then we'll take those, both of those off, and I'll show you how to install them. Now it's only been, I don't know, a couple hours. This thing's already dripped that much. So let's turn on the shower. All right, we shouldn't have much pressure. I don't see any water coming out of the shower. Let's see if we can't get this thing off. We'll start with this one. Let's set this up somewhere. Maybe there. All right, there we go. Oh God, these things are on here too. That's another thing, is that they kind of get some corrosion. That thing should come off by hand. There we go. And it's going to drip some. There we go. All right, now all you really got to do is install the new one. It screws on there, so you can use Teflon tape. You want to put some Teflon tape around these threads. And I also have this stuff here, which I don't use all that often, but this is Teflon tape, or Teflon sealant, pipe thread sealant. So this just goes on with like a brush applicator. So I might try one on one and the other on the other one. But before I put this one on, I am going to grab a wire brush and clean up. See all this corrosion and shit on here. So I'm going to clean that up, and then I will show you how the Teflon tape works, and we'll put one on. Okay, we're on there. Got it mostly cleaned up. We'll put some Teflon tape around. You don't need much. Go around it twice is probably more than enough. And then you just can rip it right off. Install our new valve. There we go. Let's see if I can show you how this valve works now. Maybe I got some light on the subject. Oh yeah, that's going to give everyone a headache. It's just too shiny. I ain't got enough hands to do it. Let's see, can you see in there? Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, that's on, that's off. So I'm going to change out this other one, same way. I think I'm just going to use the Teflon, this liquid Teflon stuff and try it out. What the hell, I've got it. I don't even know why I have it. I don't remember using it. But we'll see how that works. And then turn the water on and make sure we're not leaking. I got the second one installed. I used the liquid Teflon stuff. I don't really know if there's a whole lot of difference. Just thought I'd try both for the heck of it. Now we got no leakage. We should have water. I think we got water pressure, no leakage. So that's good. That's fixed. I've got my one and only fan. I haven't got too many fans. But we'll put this fan in here. We'll let the fan run for several hours, and then I am going to get at this over here, put a little skim coat of patching, drywall patch on there, and then I will cover it up with some of that Kills primer, and we'll caulk the whole deal, reinstall it. But I think this will be it for part one of the bathroom repair. So thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.